design rules which we should follow. Why these rules are there? Okay. So when we say that we want to design a system which is user centered or which should be user centered, then we should take care that it should be usable, right? And in order to determine the usability consequences of the design process or design decisions by the designer, we must have some rules. We must have or we require some design rules. That rules should be followed by the designer. Okay, but uh, the classification can be done for these design rules on the basis, or what should I say, two classes it can be, on the basis of authority and on the basis of generality. Okay, so let me explain what these two terms means to be in order to design the rules. Okay, so as I said, first classification on the basis of authority and second on the basis of generality. Now, what these two terms are saying, so first let us say, when I say design rules based on authority, so this confirms or it only means or it only checks whether the design rule should be followed or not, or whether it is taken or it should be taken as a suggestion. Okay, so whether to follow it completely or it is just as a suggestion. Okay, so that it means authority. Okay, second, when I say classification of the design rules on second dimension, which is about generality, so generality means it checks whether a rule can be applied, whether rule can be applied to all or many forms of the design situations, or it is designed to be for limited situation or limited applications. Okay, so whether to apply it generalized or it is specifically to be for limited applications. On the basis of these two dimensions, different types of design rules are there or design. Okay, authority and generality. I will go back to the presentation here. So one is principles, second is standards or guidelines, and then is design patterns. So let me tell you what principles of usability means or it could be. So as mentioned in abstract way, it is about general understanding. But if I want to be precisely describe it, it is abstract design rule. Principles are abstract design rules which are high in authority and limited in application. So just now we have seen authority and generalization. So principles means we are supposed to apply all of those because they are high in authority. And as authority is about application of that rule. Okay. But in order to follow those principles, designer or the person, whoever is responsible for designing, should have enough knowledge, okay, enough knowledge about the user's psychological perspective, then computational feasibility or abilities, and some of the sociological aspects. Okay, so these three factors: psychology, computational ability, and sociological aspect. These three factors should be taken into considerations. Okay. If I talk about guideline, so guideline is lower in authority as compared to principle, and it is more general in the application. Okay, so generality that what we have seen. Okay, and when I say standards, then standards are high higher level of authority, they are at high level of authority, and standards are less of need to know the theoretical aspects behind that. Okay, so we are going to see in detail each of these, right? Principle, guideline, standards, and design patterns one by one. But while doing all this stuff, we should remember the goal of designing the interactive system is to maximize the usability, right? या जो भी आप कुछ डिजाइन करने वाले हो वो maximum usability के लिए कर रहे हो, right? And while doing that we are going to follow the principles of usability, right? Whatever stated standards and given general guidelines are so far. So this we are going to see in detail. Whatever previous slide we have discussed, that one thing can be represented in this simple graph, I could say, right? So along x-axis, if we say there is increasing authority, and along positive y-axis, if I say there is increasing generality, then standards are high in authority, as I said just now, and guidelines are, or they belongs to generality more in the sense. Okay. And again, principles are abstract design rules. Okay, same stuff, whatever we have discussed in previous slide is just briefed in this representation. Okay, so we should keep these things in mind and apply each of this.